All right, guys, so hopefully you've already finished your study guides and you are watching my video just to get the answers. So number one, the question is, what is the measure of 6? So we know that 6 and this angle, those are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are congruent. So if this is 120 degrees, we know that the measure of angle 6 is also 120 degrees. The question number 2 is, what is the measure of angle 4? So angle 4 and 6 are supplementary. Also 120 and angle 4 are supplementary. So we are going to subtract 120 from 180, and we know that the measure of angle 4 is 60. These two angles are supplementary, so angle 4 is 60 degrees. What type of angle pair is 3 and 6? 3 and 6, they're on opposite sides of the transversal, and they're inside the parallel lines, which means they are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. Number 4 asks, which pair of angles is an example of a linear pair? So linear pair is the same thing as supplemental angles, which supplemental angles equal 180 degrees. So are 1 and 3 supplemental? They form this straight line right here. So yes, 1 and 3 are supplemental. 3 and 5 together are going to make 180 degrees because they're same side interior angles. So B is also correct. 4 and 3. So 4 and 3 are supplemental because they make this straight line. So 4 and 3 are supplemental, yes. 1 and 8 are actually congruent because they're alternate exterior angles. So 1 and 8 are not supplemental, no D. And then 4 and 5 are alternate interior angles, which makes them congruent. So letter E is also not supplemental. So A, B, and C are all supplemental angles, also called a linear pair. All right, so number 5 asks, let's see, using the information given in the figure above, determine the value of X. So we're trying to figure out the value of X right here. Well, we already know that angle 6 is equal to 120 degrees. And we know that these vertical angles are equal to each other, which means I'm going to write 23x plus 5 is equal to 120 degrees. All right, so in order to solve for X, I want to get X by itself. So I'm going to get rid of plus 5. The opposite of plus 5 is subtract 5. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So I bring that down. This is gone. I have 23x is equal to 115. And then to get X by itself, the opposite of times 23, I'm actually dividing both sides by 23. So X is equal to, in my calculator, I'm typing in 115 divided by 23, and the answer is 5. So the value of X is 5. And how did I get that? I set 23x plus 5 equal to 120 degrees, and I solved for X. All right, moving on. Number 6, what is the value of X here? Well, I do know that these these vertical angles are equal to each other. So 6x is equal to 2x plus 92. 2x plus 92. Since these are equal to each other, I want to get my x's on the same side of the equal sign. So I'm going to cancel out the smallest x. So the smallest x is 2x. The only way to cancel out this whole term is to subtract 2x from both sides. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so 2x minus 2x is 0. That's gone. 6x minus 2x is 4x. I bring down my equal sign, and I bring down 92. Now, the only way to pull apart 4 and x is by division, because this means 4 times x. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So 92 divided by 4, I'm typing it in my calculator. 92 divided by 4 is 23. So the value of x is equal to 23. So if I multiply 6 times 23, I get 138. And then if I substitute 23 for x here, 23 times 2 plus 92 is also 128. So I know my answer is correct. All right, number 7. What is the value of x? So I know the exterior, let's see, the triangle exterior theorem tells me that the sum of the 2 interior angles is equal to the exterior angle. So I'm going to set 6x plus 1 plus 7x equal to the exterior angle, which is 144 degrees. All right, so I'm going to add together my like terms. So 6x plus 7x, 6x plus 7x is 13x plus 1 equals 144. All right, so I want to solve for x. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of plus 1, which means I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So 13x, my 1's cancel. 144 minus 1 is 143. And then 13 times x, the opposite is dividing by 13. So in my calculator, I'm typing in 143 divided by 13, and the answer is 11. The value of x is 11. So the value of x on number 7 is 11. All righty, moving on, number 8. Lewis looks in the mirror every morning to comb his hair. What type of transformation is this? So if you're looking in the mirror, you are seeing a mirror reflection. So the type of transformation that happens when you look in a mirror is a reflection. A mirror image is a reflection. All right, number 9, let's look at the transformation. So we have y to y to y prime, w to w prime, z to z prime. So basically this blue figure has been reflected over the y-axis. So if this is the x and this is the y, this blue quadrilateral has been reflected or flipped over the y-axis. So the transformation is a reflection over, oh my goodness, my pen won't write. Reflection over the y-axis. All right, in figure 2, so I assume the reflection is rotated 90 degrees about the origin. What would be the coordinates of the new figure? So we're looking at the green transformation or the green image. If it's reflected 90 degree counterclockwise, so if clockwise we're going to the right, counterclockwise we're going to the left. All right, so we're going to take, let's start with y. So y is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So y is going to be 3, 4. So instead of negative 4, positive 3, we're going to move this into the third quadrant, which means actually both of our coordinates would be negative. So this is going to be at negative 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be y double prime. All right, w, which is over here at 1, 2, is going to be at 2, 1, it would end up in quadrant 2. So we would go left 2, up 1. So left 2, up 1, we're going to be at -2, 1. All right, x is over here at -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and it's going to end up being in quadrant 4, which means we're going to be at +2, -5. There we go, +2, -5. And then finally z, which is at 1, 2, 1, 2, is going to be end up in quadrant 4, which is going to be at +2, -2. There we go. All right, if you reflect figure 1, so we're talking about the blue quadrilateral across the x-axis. So let's get rid of all this other stuff. All right, if we go over the x-axis, then the x-coordinates stay the same, but the y-coordinates change. So w is going to be at -1, 2. So if the x-coordinates stay the same and the y's change, it means that w prime is going to be at -1, -2. Y, instead of being at 1, 2, 3, 4, the y coordinate stays the same, and the x coordinate stays the same. 1, 2, 3, this is going to become -3. X, which is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And instead of -2, it's going to become +2. And then for z, we're at 1, 2, 1, 2. Our x coordinate stays the same, and our y coordinate is going to be the opposite sign. All right, let's look at number 12. Given y prime is at -4, 3, right here, where will y double prime be if it's reflected across the y-axis? So let's do that first. So here's the y-axis. So y double prime is going to be at, instead of -1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to be at +4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then we're going to take that coordinate, and now we're going to shift it right 3 and then down 2. So for our x coordinate, we're going to add 3, and for our y coordinate, we're subtracting 2. So the final answer would be at 7, 1. That's our final answer. Y double prime is going to be at 7, 1. All right, number 13. A rectangle is translated left 4, up 2. Describe the movement of the rectangle on the coordinate plane. Well, that's it. We're going to go left 4, up 2. Left 4, up 2 is going to be letter D. Number 14, a square in a coordinate plane undergoes a dilation with a scale factor of 2. The perimeter of the original square is 64 inches. What is the perimeter of the dilated square? So if we take the perimeter of a square and we make the size of the square twice as big, that means our perimeter of 64 is going to double. So the new perimeter is going to be 128 inches, 128 inches. All right, number 5, the vertex of a rectangle is at 812. All right, so if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, anyway, it's at 812. Okay, so it's way up here at 812. It's dilated to 2, 1, 2, 3. So about right here, 2, 3. What are the new coordinates of the second vertex? So what's the difference in these two numbers? So if the original is 812 and it's dilated to 2, 3, it gets smaller, right? Well, if it gets smaller, that means the scale factor is less than 1. So either I'm going to write 8 to 2, or I'm going to write 2 to 8. Which one's less than 1? Well, this one's 4. It's got to be the second one, 1/4. So the scale factor is 1/4, also equal to 0.25, which is also equal to 25%. So the scale factor is 25%. So if we have a second vertex at 4, 8, we're going to multiply 4 and 8 by 1/4. So what's a fourth of 4? The answer is 1. What's a fourth of 8? The answer is 2. 8 over 4 is 2. So our new coordinates are 1, 2. 1, 2. Under the same dilation, that vertex would be at 1, 2. All right, guys, I hope you're following along. I hope you're getting all of these correct. Number 16, if MRK, all right, so MRT. So that second letter is actually the angle we're talking about. MRT. R is 45 degrees. And that symbol right there means they're telling us they're similar. Well, KWP, that means we're talking about this angle. So even though this triangle is smaller, if they're similar, the measures of the angles of corresponding angles are exactly the same. So if R is 45 degrees, that means the measure of angle W is also 45 degrees. That's what it means. The measure of angle W is 45 degrees. Corresponding angles are congruent of similar figures. Corresponding angles are congruent. All right, look at number 17. We are going to translate this figure. It says we're not going to go right or left, but we're just going to go up 4. So we're going to take this figure. We're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's H prime right there. We're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's I prime. And for F, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for G, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's G prime. So when we connect our dots, our figure, if I could draw a straight line, our figure should be the same size, same shape, just translated up 4 units. Rotate this figure 90 degrees clockwise. 90 degrees clockwise is going this way. So we're going to take M instead of at -1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 1. There's M prime. And instead of left 2 up 1, we're going to go right 1 up 2. There's N prime. K is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's K prime. And L, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is our new figure right there, something like that. If I could draw straight lines, you guys. All right, number 19. Number 19, describe a sequence of transformations. So it means that we're going from P. So look at these letters up here. It matters the order of the numbers. So X corresponds with M. So M and X correspond right here and here. Y and P correspond. Y and P. And then T and Z correspond. All right, so if we rotate T, so T's at 7, 2. If we go left 7, down 2, it just means simply that this has been translated 180 degrees. It says a combination of transformations. So another way of saying this has been rotated 180 degrees is also saying that we can flip it over the x-axis and then flip it over the y. So if it's a combination, then it looks like 2 reflections has been done. So the first transformation is a reflection over the x-axis, and then a reflection over the y-axis. Or one transformation would just simply be 180-degree rotation. All right, number 20, it says, name the type of transformation. So we have original C to C prime. So our original C is at -4, 8. -4, 8. That's our original. And it got smaller to -2, 4. -2, 4. So since it got smaller, our scale factor has to be less than 1. So we're either going to put 4 over -2 or -2 over -4. Which one is a scale factor less than 1? Well, this is a scale factor of 2. This is a scale factor of 1/2. So since our original got smaller, it must be a scale factor of 1/2. It looks like they are similar. So the side length here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Half of 8 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are similar because corresponding sides are equal, and the ratio of the sides are equal as well. So the scale factor is a dilation. So we would say dilation with scale factor of 1/2. Scale factor of 1/2. And it appears that these two figures are similar because the blue figure is 1/2 the size of the red figure. All right, number 21, ABC is shown on the coordinate plane. Rotate ABC 180 degrees clockwise. So that just simply means that all the numbers of the coordinates are going to change to, these are all negative. That means that all of the images are going to be positive. So instead of -2, -1, we're going to +2, +1. Instead of -1, -5, we're going to go +1, +5. Instead of -5, -4, we're going to go +5, +4. And here is our transformation to our 180-degree clockwise. So what are the vertices of ABC? What are the coordinates? So I just said those out loud, and you could just write those here. Laura is a new student in her class. Please write an explanation below to help Laura understand the steps you took. So I would say each coordinate, each number stays in the same position, but the signs change. That's what I would write right here. For example, if S is at -2, -1, S prime is at +2, +1. So the numbers stay in the same position. The only thing that changes is the sign of each number. So I would type all of that out, because when you're answering a short response question on a test, it's better to put too much information than not enough. All right, number 22, we're almost done. Number 22 gives us some information about these angle measurements, and it wants us to find the measure of angle 4. So we see these two angles are congruent, they're corresponding. So if this is 115 degrees, that means angle 4 is 115 degrees. Angle 6 is, let's see, so let's see, 110 plus the measure of angle I, I'm not sure what this number is, or 1 are supplemental, right? So if these are supplemental because we make this straight line right here, that means the measure of angle 1 is 70. I know that 70 plus 110 is 180. Angle 115 and angle 2 are supplementary. So if I subtract 180 minus 115, I know that the measure of angle 2 is 65. And I know that this is a triangle. So angle 1 and angle 2 plus angle 7 is a triangle, and triangles equal 180 degrees. So to get angle 7, I'm going to add 70 plus 65 plus the measure of angle 7 must equal 180 degrees because they all make a triangle. So 70 plus 65 is 135. So 135 plus the measure of angle 7 is 180. So when I subtract 135 from 180, I get 45 degrees. So I know the measure of angle 7 is 45 degrees. All right, so if I know the measure of angle 7 is 45 degrees, oh, it only asked me about the measure of angle 2, which is 65. And then if the measure of angle 7 is 45, 6 and 7 are vertical, which means that the measure of angle 6 is also 45 degrees. All right, and then number 23 asks about the measure of angle D. Well, these three angles together equal 180 degrees because they make up a triangle, right? So I'm going to say the measure of angle B, which is 25x, plus measure of angle C, which is 3 plus 21x. Oh, actually, I know that the measure of 95 plus D is supplemental. So to get D right here, I'm going to subtract 180 minus 95. So I know the measure of angle D is 85 degrees. All right, so angle D is 85 degrees. Now to get B, get this, I'm going to take 25x, which is angle B, plus angle C, which is 3 plus 21x. And now I know angle D is plus 85. And since they all make a triangle, I'm going to set them all equal to 180. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 25x plus 21x is 46x. Now I'm going to add 3 plus 85, which is 88. Which is 180. I want to solve for x, so I'm going to subtract 88 from both sides. So I have 46x is equal to 180 minus 88 is 92. And then the last thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by 46. So 92 divided by 46 is 2. The value of x is 2. Since I know the value of x is 2, I'm going to multiply 25 times 2 and I get 50. And then here, the value of x is 2. So 21 times 2 is 42. And 42 plus 3 is 45. Now, when I add these 3 degrees together, all of these together, I should get 180. So I'm going to double check myself. 85 plus 50 plus 45 is in fact 180 degrees. So that's how I would explain how I got each angle. All right, you guys, I hope you got the same answers as I did. Let me know if you saw a problem in the problems that I was solving. And I will check in with you guys later. Y'all have a great day.